Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining Student Money Management Services again for part two of our virtual money bootcamp. Today, we're going to be talking about the topics of paying off your debt, student loans, and then finally the Rule of 72. But before we begin our topics today, I just wanted to share that our services are still running. We will continue to assist students through a virtual presence. So if you wanted to still meet with us to take a look at your own personal finances, you can reach out and we can schedule an online video meeting. So my name is Dylan Stenzel and I'm the Senior Peer Educator at Student Money Management Services. I've been working in the office for 3 years now, and I'm a senior studying finance and supply chain management. Joining me today is Love Patel, who is another peer educator in our office. So let's begin our first topic of paying down your debt. So paying back your debt is an important topic because almost everyone has it at one point in their life for an extended amount of time. So whether it's student loans, car notes, credit cards, paying off your debt as quickly and as efficiently as possible is very important to save not only time, but also a lot of money and interest when you're paying back your loans. So let's get into a little bit deeper. So the first place you want to start when you're paying off your debt is your budget. So once you know how much your monthly payments are for different kinds of debt that you have, then you can fit that monthly payment into your monthly budget, so that you're able to afford those payments every single month without having to miss a payment or without falling behind on those payments. So once you're able to fit that number inside of your budget, then we teach students in our office something called the debt stack. So what the debt stack is the most efficient, time efficient and cost efficient way of paying back any kind of debt that you have. So let's go through this a little bit. So let's say on the left side of the screen, you have 5 different kinds of debt. You have retail card number 1, 2 different credit cards, a car loan, and a mortgage. And to the right of each one of those is the monthly payment that you have to make every single month on those debts. And that monthly payment, as you can see at the bottom, totals out to be $2,720. So what the debt stack is you order these debts from the least total amount to the largest total amount. So obviously something like a mortgage would be at the bottom since it's got a large balance. So what you do is you make those monthly payments every single month, and then once that first retail card number 1 is completely paid off, and you no longer have to spend $220 every single month paying that card, you add that $220 into the next highest debt account, which is your credit card number 2. So you can see that monthly payment is still the same of $2,720, but now you're only paying back 4 debts instead of 5, and you kind of just keep on snowballing this and adding that payment into the next highest every single time until it's all paid off, and this will save you hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars in interest payments. So we set students up with this all the time when they come in with a few different credit cards or car loans. And you'd be amazed at how fast students can pay off their debt by using this concept. So next, we're going to move into student loans. So student loans is a very important topic that we talk a lot about with students because almost everyone has them to afford coming to school and getting your degree. So it's important to know a little bit about student loans before you take them, and so that you're also prepared to repay them. So here's some bullet points that you should know, and one that we highlight very often is only borrowing what you need. So we do a really good job of sitting down with students and taking a look at their tuition and what other expenses that they're going to have throughout the year, and then figuring out what the correct amount of student loans is. So oftentimes students will get their FAFSA back, and they'll accept everything that they're approved for from the FAFSA. But let's say So let's say they only need $5,000 to cover the rest of their tuition after some scholarships and grants, but they're approved for $10,000 in federal student loans. So instead of accepting all $10,000, um, we want to just accept that $5,000 to cover the rest of your expenses. Um, so what happens if you do not pay your student loan? So your student loans are set up to be start being paid off 6 months after you graduate, and paid off in 10 years. So that's 120 monthly payments of your student loans before they're all paid off. But if you don't make a payment for 270 days, they go into default. So some consequences of going into student loan default is your entire balance is due immediately. You're no longer eligible for future federal student aid. So in case you wanted to go back to school, you would not get any aid from the government. It's reported to all 3 credit bureaus. So this is going to damage your credit score, and it's going to show up on your credit report as well. And your pay may be withheld and sent to your loan provider, which is called wage garnishment. So how to avoid this? Just talk to your loan provider and select a repayment plan that works for you. So if you know that you're not going to be able to afford the monthly payments that they're asking, if you reach out to them and tell them your situation that you're in, you can work out different repayment options with them. They just want to be getting paid, so they'll be flexible and work something out with you. And also set up an automatic payment so you don't miss a payment. Is a really easy way to not get caught up in missing payments. So now I'm going to hand it over to Love, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how to find your student loans.
All right. Thanks, Dylan. So you want to type in nslds.ed.gov. That's basically the National Student Loan Database System. Once you type that up and you open up their webpage, you're going to land on their home webpage, which is shown in the slide below. And then you can either click on any of the 2 options that says financial aid review or my student data download. And then it's going to take you to the next webpage, which will be on the next slide, which should look like this. So it basically just gives you a bunch of their policies and stuff like that. And then you can just hit accept on that. And then once you do that, the next window that pops up asks you to log in, or you can like create your FSA ID if you don't have one, or just manage it. This usually is given up when you get your student loans and when you set them up. So basically it's just your username, email, or phone number, and then password. If you don't have one, you can always just create one. And that way you can just see all of your student loans and just like how you can manage them and who the different service providers are for your loans. And that way you can always stay in contact with them and know when your loans are due. So that's all we have for you today. If you guys have any questions, just drop them in the comments below, or just DM us with your questions, and we'll be happy to reach out to you. Just basically, our virtual office hours are still online, so you can either just give us a call or just reach out to us on our email, and we will get back to you. Thank you so much for attending the Money Boot Camp with us, and we'll be coming up with more content in the upcoming weeks. Thank you.